well, to start with, like, where are you coming from and what art are you representing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm coming from Malaysia, western part of Malaysia, Selangor, one of the states in Malaysia. So I mostly practice in Seni Silat Sendeng, and art which has been around for since 1700, 1600, something like that. It's a long history of the art itself, Yeah.
Amazing. When did you start practicing this art in life?
I started to learn this art from my guru in my hometown in Perak since I was kid, and now I am around 47 years old. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the only art that I've learned.
This is the only art.
Yeah, it's the only art. I never learned other style of silat or any other kind of martial arts. There are a few that I've been attended to, but not really. It's all about sending. It's all about sending. So I did learn a few, but not. I think not as deep as sending. Yeah.
How is Sendeng different, or what defines it from other silat?
Yeah, sending is actually because of the word itself. Sending in Malay means the slanted position, such a position. So because of the position, it makes it it's unique in its own way, Yeah, because the art is perfected in the battlefield, mostly in the ocean, because this art has been brought over by the Bugis from Sulawesi, Makassar to Malaysia during that time. So there's a lot of battle, between these Bugis masters, sea battle, So you can't afford to stand square, on the deck of the ship. So you need to stand slanted, a bit slanted, so that you will be able to balance yourself. Just imagine you need to fight with pirates whatsoever, on that so-called the deck, So it's very limited space, and then the condition of the ship itself, is because of the very wavy movement, So it is very practical to stand slanted, slanted position. So that's how it has been invented and perfected, So whatever we do, whether bare hands or with weapon, it's all about sending the position, the positioning. Whether we're defending or attacking, it's all the same. So at the highest, at the end of the day, the highest level of the sending, it's supposed to be. It's just actually a concept, a concept of self-defense, martial arts or fighting arts. It's not about kick and punch. It's not about it. It will come to a level where there's no what we call it, no techniques, no movement, and it's just a philosophy and a concept, but you can see the art is very beautiful in its way. Some may call it a bit awkward because of the position, but if you really understand and go deep, then you will understand why. Yeah.
So what is the major kind of guiding principle? You said that the slanted position is because of the nature where it come from.
Yeah. Okay, so because of our position is, slanted, instead of we stand frontal, where we need to defend ourselves, all the internal organs, which has been the major targets of our opponent, from head to toe. We need to cover all these parts, So instead of standing frontal like this, we are standing, slanted, So everything has been covered, everything is covered. All the vital organ, vital targets has been covered. So that is why most of the movement in Silat Sendeng is all about preemptive strike. We're more on strike. Yeah.
Preventive strike.
Yeah, preemptive strike.
Preemptive strike.
Yeah. Well, we did learn about locking, sweeping, grappling, everything, But of course, it's a part of the syllabus. But the major part is all about strike. Yeah, it's all about strike. Yep.
And preemptive
Yes,
implies
preemptive.
that it's a defense.
Yeah.
So how does martial art how I imagine then it has to have such a high level of awareness to be able to read an opponent.
Yeah. It takes time, to master the art itself. Like me myself, it takes about how many years already? 30 over years, to come to this level. So you need to really sweat it out, to really get to the art, essence of the art. It can't just be, you can learn about 1 year or 2 years, but that one is just about the syllabus only, not really deep into the art itself, the essence of the art, So it really takes years. Really takes years. But that also depends to the student itself. If he is a very good student, very bright, and he can understand all the movement together with the philosophy, maybe he can take shorter time. Yeah, depends. And also depends to the guru himself. If the guru is good explanation, he can guide the student to achieve the so-called the essence of the art. Yeah, but that's about it. The guru can only guide, but at the end of the day, it's all up to us how to really interpretation, the interpretation of the art. Of course, the guru will guide us on how to to go through all the syllabus and then the meaning of this movement, everything. Yeah. But it's up to us. We need to do our own thing also. Yeah. As for me, it takes me around, up until today, I think around 30 over years, nearly 40 years practicing this art. Bare hands, weapons, philosophies, everything. Yeah, and the as well as the spiritual part as well. Yeah, which is one of the integral part of the silat itself in general. But in Silat Sendeng, we do have the spiritual part of Silat Sendeng itself. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not only general for Silat, but also for Sendeng.
Yeah.
What is it? Can you say about that? Something.
To say a few, mostly we really back on those days we are really connected with this Kiai Haji Saleh, somewhat the Pendeka or Selimpah Merah, mostly we do the zikir of ayat 4, and there are a few more actually, but that is the major one.
Wow. How does in amongst other silats, how Silat Sendeng is valued or known?
With due respect to all those silat styles, mostly Sendeng during those days, has been taught secretly. We are very secretive about the art, especially all the old gurus, very secretive. Whoever wants to learn from them, they need to really show their intention, really need to show their will, and normally Silat Sendeng is taught to masters, to masters level of other style, masters level. So it's not you can just come and okay, I want to learn Silat Sendeng, because back on those days they are very secretive, very secretive. It's not easy. It's not easy. The guru, he won't just let okay, come and learn from me. No, it won't happen. Yeah, you have to look for them. You have to look for them. And it was so secretive that, of course, it won't be taught in an open class. You just limit it to the living room or in a house of the guru. Yeah.
Not in a public space.
Yeah, no public space. It's not in open public space like this. And the number of students is very, very few. Only 1 or 2. That's about it. Yeah. It's more on personal. There's a personal touch. One to one. 4 eyes, for example. That's about it. Like me myself. Yeah. I've learned from my guru all by myself. Yeah, one on one. Learn from him. Yeah. So, but then after that, as time goes by, and the Silat Sendeng has been widely spread, and people start asking for, to learn, and then they asked to open the gelanggang, because the public wanted to learn this art, and then only the elders had the consensus, and okay, let's set up the association. So association has been set up, and then after that they certify their instructors, and then send these instructors out and then to teach all this, many places. So it's widely spread in Malaysia now. Yeah, but it is, of course, Sendeng is one of the authentic and traditional art of Seni Silat in Malaysia. There are so many styles in Malaysia itself. Hundreds of them, 300, 400 styles. In Indonesia also same, 300, 400. More than that, I think. So many styles, But Silat Sendeng is one of the oldest art, the oldest. And what we have learned is actually originally from generation to generation. Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, maybe the approach is quite different because you have sometimes we need to evolve as well, according to the current present time, right? Yeah, so that's about it.
So it's a very traditional art.
Yeah, it's very traditional art. Very traditional art. Yeah.
Wow. And it's recently been opened more to the public, slightly.
More to the public. Yeah.
Amazing. You mentioned that some of it links with the spiritual practices. So it obviously chanting Zakir while performing Silat.
Yes.
That's one thing. But so it means that practitioner is in a way not expected, but traditionally would be a spiritualist, a man of who practices his religion.
Although the spiritual part is optional, because it's a discretion of the guru, to teach whoever student that he thinks that fits, But of course, the student itself need to be very, they need to really into it. It's not just okay, just take the ijazah of zikir, chanting this and that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. It's supposed to be the spiritual part. Sometimes it's a kind of we can say check and balance, to the student itself, so that they won't misuse, abuse the skills, the techniques that he has learned from the silat, the physical movement of silat. It's not just gonna go out somewhere and just beat people here and there. No, that's why we need religion, spiritual part of the silat, as a guidance, so that they know to be a better person. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. So it seems very, very practical reason. It's not just some kind of ornament. Spirituality is not just an ornament. It's a very
yeah. You have to really give yourself, to practice that spiritual part. Yeah.
So Silat has betters the body and the mind probably of a person, and then also
body, mind, and soul, and your spiritual part, inner part of you. Yeah. Sometimes you are, physically you are a nice man, but who knows, the inner part you are very naughty. You see, that's why we need a spiritual thing, spiritual teaching, spiritual guidance, so that we will do what we preach. Yeah. So every day we're gonna be a very decent and very in a good manner, better person every day. Yeah. That's about silat. It's not about killing punch. It's about how you mold yourself to become better and better, Yeah. For the benefit of for your community, your religion, for your country. That's about it.